Well, hello everybody. It's Kelly. Nice to see you again, or kind of see you. So I'm going to do my best today to show you a few tips on making the Lola, my favorite bag, as you probably know. So let me just give you a quick little preview of where we are today. So I have attached the base to the front of my bag. I decided that I would use my badge on the front this time. I don't always, whenever I feel like. I already have my hardware attached, and she's cute, so she's happy to see you, huh? Have the hardware attached, and I also do have the first part of the zipper attached to the front of the bag and to the lining, one lining piece. The lining piece in this case is a slip pocket. I do it different, of course, than some people, and so my slip pocket will hold a cell phone comfortably, and then something else over here. I think I've done a tutorial on this one, but I could post it again because this is pretty much how I do all my slip pockets these days. It's just nice. Little secured edge here. You probably can't see that, but I'll show you another time. It's got a nice band that matches the fabric here. When you make this lining is done with a fat quarter. This is a bloomery. Thank you very much, Amy Butler, for turning me on to that. So a fat quarter will get you 2 linings and a little band and enough to make the zipper placket too. So you can get quite a bit of mileage out of a fat quarter. So here is this part. Now you want to, before you begin this project, with most projects, you want to mark all your centers on your main and lining pieces, and you want to mark your center on your zipper as well. This is a number 3 12-inch metal zipper from Zip It, and I really like it. I have tried other zippers from other places, but this one just seems to really, it just zips so smooth compared to others. So you can use zipper tape, metal tape. You can use nylon tape, but that's another tutorial. So today we're focusing on using a number 3 metal zipper from Zip It. Okay, so we have our centers marked on our zipper tape, and now we're going to take out the back of the bag. And this is the back of the bag. It's the same as the front, but no placard, obviously. And just to show you, I like to reinforce these connectors. These are the hidden connectors. That's already covered in another tutorial. But I like to put a couple of extra pieces of the vinyl, and then these rivets that are from Buckle Guy. They just will go in perfectly, and they are not going anywhere. So I have a renewed confidence in my rivets these days. I used to be the bone of contention, but I'm super happy about these. So. And then I'll show you that I make mistakes all the time. I'm not ashamed of that. So if you look closely, you'll see that I accidentally drew my lines. I was off by 1/4 of an inch, but I caught it in time. So I just redrew, and then I sewed them, and they're perfect. So just double check, make sure you have the right lighting when you're drawing these lines. You can refer to the tutorial I posted yesterday. But if you just take your time, you're gonna get some really pretty quilting too. So I'm just super happy with this one. So we're going to put our hardware down. This hardware, by the way, these are from Amazon. I think they were 4 for $8, and I love them. You can get them on So You Need Hardware too, I think, for probably about the same price. So, but they're great, and they give you room to add a tassel too. So anyway, enough about that. So we have our centers marked, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to match up our centers with our zipper tape. And this might be boring to watch me clip, but you asked for it, so you got it, Toyota. So we're going to match our clips, match our marks, if you will. And as you're clipping this, you want to start with your center clip, and then you want to go a little bit to the right and a little bit to the left. You just want to make sure that you are not pulling on your zipper tape. There's no reason to stretch it. It's going to fit fine. Let me get my little clips and my cute little kitty dish from Dagmar. Thank you, Dagmar. I love it. I love all the little things you guys send me sometimes for no reason, and it warms my heart. So anyway, so we're going to clip, slowly going down. And you know, the pattern says to, I think, by the way, I'm referring to the old pattern. A new one came out yesterday, I believe, and or not yesterday, but on the 16th. I just found out yesterday. I haven't researched it carefully. I think the changes were somewhat minor. Alicia said she lengthened the sides a bit, maybe updated the instructions. But I'm going with the old one for now, and we'll report back on the new one when I have time. So we're just clipping down, and as we get here to the end, you'll see that there's the little wings, if you will, the wings that are shown in the pattern. I like to use double-sided tape to hold them in place. You can even sew them, but I'd rather have them secured than just kind of floating loose when I start sewing. And you want to clip them so that they basically are flush with the top. So you've clipped it that far there. Now we'll do the other side. We'll just complete it with the other side. Make sure that it's even and just take your time. And sometimes we always rush through these things for some reason. And there's no reason to rush, because if you're in a hurry, you're going to end up undoing it anyhow. So take the extra 5 minutes and do it right. All right, so we got this clipped, and then we have our little wing that needs to be even with this seam allowance here. Okay, I was saying, and then in the pattern it says to, I think, mark it 3/4 of an inch away or something like that. I don't worry about it. I just center it and clip it and sew it. It's where it should be. So that's simple enough. Now, we're going to use our zipper foot. I don't know if you can see this or not, but I use the zipper foot that is a true zipper foot, and I don't use what people refer to as the skinny foot. So this is, sorry about that, this is the skinny foot, and I don't know if you can see it, but anyway, it's the skinny foot. This one down here is probably, I don't know, probably a good 1/4 of an inch longer, and it has a little bit more of an elongated prong on the end. It's my favorite foot, so I use that for pretty much everything. So we're going to sew from we're going to use the edge of the zipper foot, which is probably about 1/8 of an inch, maybe less, but we only have a small tape on this particular zipper, and we don't want to hit the metal stops. So we're going to just use the zipper foot as our guide, and we're going to put it right along the edge. And we're sewing, we're not basting, so I have about a 3.25 stitch length, and we're going to sew. I am sewing, as you probably know, on my Juki 8700. When I got this machine, I didn't think I was going to use it as much as I do. I probably use it more than my Juki 1541. It's just so versatile and it can sew a lot of different things. So it's just fun, and I love it dearly. So okay, I'm going to stop talking and sew. I know you can't see what I'm sewing, but you know how to sew a zipper in, so that's not too exciting anyhow. But I wish I could show you. Maybe one day I'll get better at the whole video thing, but heck, the price is right? Okay. So, and we're just going to go down to the end of the zipper tape. We are avoiding hitting anything that is metal. It's against the rules to hit anything metal. But you'll do it once or twice probably in your lifetime, and then you'll be over that experience. Okay, so, oh, by the way, I have a needle positioner on my Juki 8700, which allows me to do many things, but one stitch at a time if I want. I can also, the needle is always in the down position, which is really important when you're making bags, I think. And then I can kick the front of the pedal, and that brings the needle up, and it releases the thread out of the tension. So it's a really cool thing. If you can get it, I highly recommend it when you buy your next machine. So we have basted the back to the zipper tape, and now we're going to attach the back of the lining. So here, let me get my lining. I'll show you a little bit about the lining here. So this is my lining. This is the other side. I already have the base attached because the lining, the fat quarter, is only enough for the front and the back. You have to get creative with the bottom piece, but I really like doing the contrasting colors, and you know I like black and white, so no surprise there. I've already put in my beautiful zipper, and then the pocket is back here, and we sew the pocket just a little jog on each side. Leave all this open. We're not going to birth through the pocket, but we're going to pull our lining through the pocket at the very end so that we can secure the base up and do the boxing. And then that way we don't have to have too much birthing, if you will, of the vinyl, because it's just going to pop in and out of this big, huge space here. Just like I think Angela taught us in her tutorial, but I'll show you again. So I'm going to put this up here with a couple of clips. Just keep it out of the way, just in case. And now we're going to attach this to the other side. We have our center markings marked. So we're going to put that right sides together on top of the zipper tape, hopefully. And so we're just matching up the seams as always. And we're going to clip in place just like we did before. Clip, clip. Now, unlike the pattern, I hope I'm doing it right, but we'll find out in the end, or at least in a couple of days. I'm going to sew the entire length of the lining across the zipper and to the end. We're not going to have any start and stop points because I find that for me, I sometimes catch it and I sometimes don't, so sometimes I have a small gap. There's no reason to, because just think of it like mini purses. It's just like a big cosmetic bag. So we're going to make sure that our ends match up. Mine are a little bit off. We're not in a hurry. I'm not going to do it wrong. I'm going to fix it. So we're going to bring it over a little bit so that it's lined up. Okay. Now we're going to clip it in place. Do it again because it's worth the extra 5 seconds to do it right. Now we're coming along this side, and it looks perfect. Okay, and then we'll come down this side. Lola, L-A-L-A, Lola. Oh, sorry. I like to sing when I sew too. Lucky for you, you're not always in my sewing room, huh? Okay, so I got this on this side. You know, it's still, maybe it's the angle, but it's still not perfect. So you're just gonna have to forgive me. But this bag is a gift for somebody, so I want it to be absolutely perfect. So I'm gonna just readjust it a tiny bit more. Sorry for that. For all of you that thought I was some kind of awesome sewer who never made mistakes, the secret is out. But that just makes me human, I'm guessing. I'm only human. Okay, so, all right, happy camper now. Got to the end. Okay. Now, we are going to sew, as I said before. Let me get a couple more clips in here. You can never have too many clips, right? Or too much fun. Never. Remember the days when we used pins? Oh my gosh, no thank you. All right, so we have it clipped in place. I'm gonna flip it over to where the back side, because I'm going to use my previous stitch line as a guide. I'm going to put this foot right next to the previous stitch line. So we're going to end up with probably a good, I'm going to say a 1/4 inch, a scant 1/4 inch margin, if you will. And we're going to pray that we don't hit any metal. I'm going to do my darndest not to. So we're going to start at the very end this time of the line, of the end of the piece. We're not going to start where the zipper is as per the instructions, okay? So we're just going to go, always start in backstitch. And you can feel, you know, what you're sewing if you're going to hit something, but you're not going to because you are super, super careful. Okay? So we're just sewing along. Your hardware is kind of bulky and in the way, but we make do. Just be patient and go slow. And I know you can't see what I'm sewing, but like I said, we are sewing using our zipper foot. We're using the edge as our seam allowance. And I think we're ending up with a 1/4 inch total, maybe a little bit less, but no more than a seam allowance. And that will make sure that our zipper tape looks perfect as far as the amount of tape that is showing, and that we're not going to hit any metal. You may need to open up the zipper. I don't think you need to at this point, so. And we're going all the way to the end. And back stitching. And we do one kick on the pedal. And over here. Now, I'd like to, we'll give it a haircut. I'd like to trim, of course, these little zipper tabs, a little extra tape. You can cut those off when you get done. And I like to trim about a 1/16 of an inch off this edge, just so that when you fold it over, but before we do that, let's make sure it looks fairly decent. Okay, so we pop it over, make sure there's no puckers or anything, because puckers happen, and it looks darn good. Because you know why? Because we did it right, and because we've done it a million times. So we're going to pop it back over, and we're going to give it a just tiniest trim. And I probably should have used my good scissors, but I'll just use these so you don't have to watch me walk around. Okay, so we're just trimming this off. So the only difference really, I guess in the pattern, the old pattern, is that I don't have a start and stop thing on this particular part. I go to the very end, because I was saying before, it's like a cosmetic bag. You sew the edges together and you open it up, and then you sew the pieces together. So that is that, and we have the beginning of a beautiful Lola bag. I think I'm going to do a few more tutorials, but I'm not going to put them all in this same video. So I'm going to check my notes, make sure I didn't forget anything important. I'll be right back. Okay, hey, I didn't forget anything. So what we're going to do next, but I won't show a video, is you're going to open this up just like this. So it's a beautiful like little clamshell. And you're going to take it to your sewing machine, and you're going to press very carefully all of this down, because when you end up sewing it together, you have to, you don't want the lining to get caught into the zipper. There's very little wiggle room. So you're going to press and press and press. But be careful, because you have vinyl on the outside. And that's your little Lola clamshell. Isn't she cute? It's going to be a really beautiful bag. I'm making it for a friend who knows I'm making it for her, so I want to make it extra special. So that is the first part of the Lola video. I sure hope it was helpful. So that's it. Have a great day, everybody.